Not even that. It's just so fast. I just got approved for my apartment. And my thing is now I gotta wait till September to see to do shit. To do shit. Like, come on now, that shit is fuck. I'm really pissed off at this point. That's what I'm about to be doing. I'm about to get real pissed off. Hey, I just say, I shall think anybody else go back home with my family out.
Congrats to Shamar. He got on live shortly. He's been going on live. I don't know what he's doing, but he's been going on live. Not saying much, but he got on live this time to tell us that he did find an apartment. However, there's always the however. But Shamar lost his social security card. So there's a minor setback. There's a minor hold up because of that, but that's no one's fault. But Shamar needs to be prepared when these kind of situations happen. And I'm quite sure this is going to be something, it's new in his life, but he's going to have to deal with for the rest of his life while being responsible, taking care of himself. Shamar, he will probably yearly have to renew his lease unless he buys a house. That's why I said probably. And he's going to have to stay on top of his credentials, ID, social security card, birth certificate. You should have those things in one place to be found so that when you do these things, like looking for an apartment, which is very important, winter is coming, you have all of what you need to get this place. So I'm going to say, again, he found an apartment, but I'm going to also put behind that. Allegedly, Shamar says that he found an apartment because we all know that some of the girls lie, just to be lying. And they can retract statements that they say publicly. When we know that they said them, they can retract them. So to keep my channel and myself safe, I'm going to say allegedly, but this is what he said. I think that he's upset because the time that he's able to move into the new apartment is not in alignment to what he's trying to do. But like I said, again, this is what happens when you are on your own time and you don't plan ahead for these type of situations. And Shamar has to understand that. Now, he also got on live, as you guys can see. I don't know where he's going. I was just being funny when I said he's probably going to the bathhouse. But, we've seen the last couple of days for someone really stressed out. He sure has been doing a lot of hanging in clubs and, playing pool and getting his drink on and twerking and everything else just to come home and aggravate the public with I want to unalive myself. I just can't do this. Life is so hard. But, at night, it's the freaks that, come out at night. And Shamar's one of them. He comes out at night and he does his little 1 2 1 2, and then he's back on social media, running a muckery. I just really hope for the best for Shamar. I really think that he does need a PR person, caretaker. Let me stop. Let me not say that. We don't want to trigger him, but I'm glad that he has shelter over his head. But I honestly think that he needs to have some sort of person who has a legit certificate or college degree to help him manage his life, his day-to-day life, finances, and housing. This is very important. We see that he's not making this a priority He was about a second away from a park bench. People don't want to deal with Shamar. He's difficult. It's not that they want to see him in the street, I don't think. I think that he's just too difficult to deal with, and they rather not deal with him when it comes to housing him. Maybe clothing and feeding him, but housing him, I don't think that people want to deal with what comes with dealing with Shamar. Is very difficult. And it's very understandable. You know, people have their own lives, some have children, and they're dealing with that. And they don't need to have to be dealing with a grown person who should know right from wrong, but just not doing right. So hopefully when he gets his new apartment, he does not bring the riffraff to the new place, and he goes elsewhere to see them. You never blink where you lay. You know what I'm saying? So I really hope that he realizes that. I don't care how nice people are to him, like Lashun, even alvo when he gets out. Alvo might get out. He might, look better than he looked when he was out here ripping and running in the street and drinking and smoking weed. Skin might clear up, might put a little weight on, healthy weight, and get out and try to finesse Shamar just for a place to stay. But whatever the situation is, I don't advise Shamar to have anyone living at the resident or even knowing where he lives, because soon as they get mad at him, they're going to try to start destroying it early. And they already know that they did a good job the year that he had the place, and they already know it's a public, information on it that he was paying his rent. And the office of where he lived, management office, they just still didn't want to have him on the property anymore. So this will happen again if he continues to leak or somebody else leaks, because he thinks that those people are his friends for the moment, leak his information. They will end up getting him kicked out of, where he needs to stay. So I hope that he's, being mindful of that, careful, because if he does not stay away from people, places, and things, he's gonna rock himself to sleep like he always does, and that's gonna be a shame. So I hope that this new place, a year from now, he's renewing that new, lease, and he's living his life and getting a little bit more stable. Hopefully by the new year he's monetized, so he can have another income stream coming in, because they're going to try to work their set next on his money coming in. But like I said, I'm glad that he is now able to say he's moving into a new spot, and he's moving on.